this is Stephanie from Rapid Resizer, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make a really cool world map tapestry. So what I'm going to be doing is using freezer paper to cut out a stencil, and then I'm going to iron it onto a piece of fabric and then spray paint over that stencil and then remove it, and there will be a really cool world map. So I'm just going to start by clicking on my map, and I just found it by going to the free patterns, and at the bottom of the page I used the line drawing Google search bar just to search world map. So here it is, and I'm making it 25 inches wide by 13 inches. So it's pretty big. You can see here that I've made it 6 sheets big, so my piece of fabric is pretty large. So I didn't really have to do much to alter this. I'm just going to print it and then go ahead with my craft. I'm just going to be cutting this with an X-Acto knife. It seems like it will be time consuming, but it really wasn't that bad. So I will show you guys in a minute all the steps for this craft, so please stay tuned. So what you're going to need for this craft is a piece of fabric. I just use a scarf that I found from a thrift store, but you can really use any type of fabric that you want. You'll also need freezer paper. Make sure it's not wax paper. You only want it to be plastic on one side. You'll also need an X-Acto knife and a cutting board, and you will need an iron to iron your stencil onto your fabric, as well as spray paint. You could also use fabric paint or any other type of paint you want also, but spray paint's kind of fun, and I wanted to do something kind of metallic and shiny. So to get started for this craft, what you're going to want to do is tape your stencil together and then lay down a piece of freezer paper shiny side down over top of your stencil, and then I just used a couple pieces of packing tape to secure it down to make sure that it doesn't move. And then the next step for the craft is to just trace your design onto your freezer paper. I just used a thick felt tip pen just to make the cutting a little easier, but you can also use a pen if you want to be a little more precise. So just trace your entire stencil onto the freezer paper, and then once you've done that, you can go ahead and cut out your design following the lines that you traced with an X-Acto knife. Yeah, this doesn't take too long. It might seem like it's going to be pretty time consuming, but it's not that bad. And then once you've cut your stencil out completely, I just laid down my fabric on a wooden surface. Depending on what surface you're working on, you may want to lay down a towel, or you could also do this on an ironing board just so that you don't damage your work surface with the heat from the iron. So you're going to want to just carefully iron your design onto your fabric. I just started from the corner and kind of worked my way around, make sure everything's completely flat and adhered properly to your piece of fabric. So once you've done that, now it's the fun part. It's best to do this step outside so there's proper ventilation, because spray paint can be pretty toxic, so you don't want to be breathing that in. Also, just make sure that the edges of your fabric are protected so you don't end up spraying parts of your fabric that you don't want to spray. So I just tucked mine behind my freezer paper stencil. And then you're just going to want to spray completely over your design. This may take a couple coats depending on the type of paint you're using or how you want it to look. Just make sure that you've completely coated your stencil completely, and then once you've done that, allow your stencil to dry sufficiently so you don't get any smudging or it doesn't come off on your fingers, and then just carefully peel your stencil off your fabric and it will reveal your beautiful stenciled world map. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Please comment below if you have any questions about the craft or about the software, and like this video if it's something that you think you want to try. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to start posting more of these full-length YouTube videos for the craft tutorials, so I'd love to hear your feedback on these. Let me know if you like the full-length videos versus the blog, but I'll also put the instructions on the blog as well, so you can use that as a reference also. So thank you guys for watching and have an awesome day.